Well, it's a show in which I'm playing a teacher named Mr. Baxter, who he is accused of doing something at his school, and finds himself sort of in a bit of a crisis of conscience. I was doing a workshop with Edward Bond at the Bond Festival, right, with, through Sheep No Wool Productions, and Kate Fenton, the writer, who you might be familiar with.
Vaguely.
She contacted me and said, "Listen, I'm interested in this," and she sent along the script, and I thought it really had some very raw, very powerful kind of possibilities to it. So I'm really interested. You know, like I have a tendency, a bias towards new work. So what drew me to this piece was the fact that it still felt like there was a lot of digging to be done, and that there was this sort of like really interesting, glowing heart at the center of it, and it's a bit dirty, it's a bit dangerous, and quite bold. And I think it needs to I wanted to be part of the team that was exploring it and bringing it to the next level. For me, the element of collaboration is always the most important thing. The idea of getting a variety of voices in the room and throwing ideas around and bouncing ideas off each other, because I find that particularly with new work, I really enjoy the process of whether that's somebody bringing a script into the room and we sort of like workshop it in not a dry way, but in a very sort of like get it up on its feet and try things and then change things once we see that they don't work. Because I find English Canadian theatre has this tendency to talk good ideas into the ground. We spend, in my opinion, far too much time around tables, when tables have very little to do with what interests me about theatre.
Right.
So yeah, so I like to get stuff up on its feet, which is why something like Bring the Buzz excites me, because it's not a reading. It's just a step beyond a reading, and we get a chance to sort of fire some ideas at the wall and see what sticks. Like, I come from a musical background, so I'm you know, like I came into the theater by way of being in rock and roll bands. So, you know, when we in a band, there's no question about the collaborative. Like, there's no sort of like auteur kind of idea in a band. Basically, you know, I would write something in my bedroom, bring it into the guys, play it on my guitar, and say, here's what I came up with, and I'd play it once through, and they might try to pick it up halfway through the song, and then, you know, like, we'd work through it a few times, and by the end of, you know, 4 or 5 times through this thing, you've got a song that's nothing like the song you wrote in your bedroom, and 1,000 times better, and nothing that any one of you in the room would have come up with on your own, which I think is really something that I've tried to capture in terms of the work that I do with new work. I like to really sort of throw it out to the room and be open to collaboration. And the best idea in the room wins. Come see Mr. Baxter by Kate Fenton. It's part of the Bring the Buzz Festival at Theatre Passe Muraille. See you there.
You're so great. You're so great. I wanna lick your face. You're like a chocolate